slide? Did you steal this from me? All right, I'm not talking to you anymore. All right. When we're talking about sold properties, where should we be going and looking? What is the first step? You get a list, right? You can buy a list. Does everybody understand that you can buy a list of cash buyers? Yeah, all right. So we want cash investors, not homeowner occupants. We can go to MLS, FMLS. These are the services that are available to you through realtors, correct? All right, the second one, we just go out and buy that list that I just finished talking about. Where can you get the list? Right here. And I believe that it is in your, on page, what page? 45. So you don't even need to be writing this stuff down. All you have to do is be listening. All right? The next one we want to talk about is auctions. All right, this is what the gentleman in the back was talking about. We go to an auction. Do we carry business cards when we go to an auction? Yeah. Do we go empty-handed? No. Exactly. So we need to have our business card, and we need to tell them that we are professionals and we find deals. And we would like to supply you with those deals. Now, what happens if the person says to you, and I'm going to guarantee it's going to happen once or twice in your life. They say something like this. You're a wholesaler, right? I'm a wholesaler. We're in competition. I don't think we need to do business. And you know what I say? So let me get this straight. If I was to bring you a deal where when the dust settled, I got paid, you got paid, and you got paid 10 grand, you wouldn't want me to call you. Does that kind of give them a wake-up call? Yeah. All right, so understand that it's not what you say, but how you say it. And understand that if somebody is stupid enough to pass up 10 grand, you know what I should do? Run away. Because that isn't somebody I want to do business with. All right? Okay, so Williams & Williams. Does anybody ever understand how that works? Has anybody ever attended a Williams & Williams? Okay, that's called a shark frenzy. They put you in a room like this, and then they get everybody pumped up. And then what they do is they sell pieces of property, and then they start bidding on it. Well, what you should be doing, and what one of the people in the room that is dressed in a coat and tie has done, is he happens to go to Hooters, and he gets some beautiful women. He pays a minimum wage, and all they do is walk over to people and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm working with an investor. Can I get your business card?" And guess what? Sure, call me, baby. All right? All right, so the next one, car signs. I can guarantee you that if you put 25,000 miles on your vehicle every year, you will get at least one deal out of these car signs. How much do car signs cost? Probably $75 a pair, okay? So you need to buy 2 pair, one for your car, one for her car, and then one for your VA, and then one for anybody else. How many of you believe that it would be a good idea to pay the pizza guy to put your car signs on something like maybe $20 a month? Anybody? Do you think that garbage trucks get washed that often? No. They don't really. I had a sign on one for a while. I don't think they ever looked. All right, so car signs are definitely a moneymaker. All right, so let me tell you a quick story. What happened was that I was driving in a rather dubious area. All right, I was down in the Bluff area. And I happened to have the car signs on. And what happened was I saw a woman chasing me down the street. Now, typically in the Bluff, if they are chasing you, what should you do? Hit the gas and burn rubber and get out of Dodge. All right, so the first thing I do is I look at their hands to see if they're packing, all right? The second thing it was a female, so I'm a little bit, less inclined to run away. Sure enough, she chased me down for almost a block until I got it, right? And then she sold me her house. I made a very nice profit on it. All right. Magnetic wrap, car wrap, these are very nice. I happen to like them. Understand that when you do wrap your car, it changes from being a personal vehicle to a commercial. You might want to change your insurance. And it also changes the warranties, just to be aware. All right, put your car signs on yours. Put them on anybody else that will take them. All right? The next one that you want to talk about is newspapers and classified ads. Now, I want you to know that if you are shopping for money, this is a great way to find them. All right? Electronically is a little bit cheaper. I am not that big of a fan for newspapers at this time. But there are certain newspapers that I will definitely advertise in. You remember the Statesboro incident that I talked about? You remember Dublin? Those out in the country areas? Those people read their newspapers. All right, I am going to not necessarily advertise in the Atlanta Journal, but I will advertise in some of the smaller community newspapers. If you're looking for mobile homes, you definitely want to be advertising in the Penny Saver. Mobile homes come out of the woodwork when you advertise in that one. All right, so then what we have is title examiners and attorneys. Why would they be able to find a cash buyer?
They deal with them.
They deal with them. They know who the cash buyers are. So you're sitting there in front of the attorney, what should you say? Do you know any cash buyers? Yeah, you're my attorney. Let me send you more business if you send me people. If you make them wealthy, are they going to be happy to refer to you other cash buyers? Very much so, because those cash buyers have used them too. And isn't it nice to be able to do business with people you've done business with? Very much so. So we want that. All right, definitely your own attorneys and your own power team. The other thing is that can you go to other attorneys at networking events like Atlanta RIA and talk to the other attorneys there and say, hey, do you happen to have any cash buyers? And if they say yes, ask them, do you want me to contact them directly or do you want me to just send the leads through you? See how easy that was? Now, if your attorney sends you a lead, are you a little bit more prone to opening it? So what do you got? You have trust, you have respect, and you've got an opening. Does that make sense? A pre-sale, credibility. How many of you need to have a little bit of boost in your morale and a little bit more confidence? See how easy that was? Okay, great. So let's talk about this. Where are you going to find your title examiners? Does anybody know what a title examiner is? Okay, a title examiner is the individual that looks at the title for the property and they do the research to find out whether or not the person owns it, how many liens they've had on it, if they got a current mortgage, whether or not the IRS is after them, whether or not the city's after them, whether or not the divorce went through properly. That's what they do. All right? So we need to talk to them. They are very, very friendly, most of them. What we're looking for is we might want to take them to lunch. And the good news is it isn't going to cost you that much more to supersize it, and they're still going to be happy. It doesn't cost a lot of money to get in with these individuals. All right? The more people you talk to, why would they know cash buyers? Because they're looking at title all day long. Right, and do they know when somebody wholesales or flips?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they know when somebody double closes? Yeah, they do, because they can look at the sequence of the paperwork. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so title examiners hang out in courthouses and also record rooms. So does everybody in the room know where the deed and record room is in your county? Okay, for those of you that don't know, all you have to do is walk in and look at the sheriff and say, where's the deed and record room? All right, it's typically in the basement. It is never in a place on the high rise. That's where the judge sits, okay? All right, so how many of you feel like you found a place already that you could go and find cash buyers? Okay, great. So you've got the whole process at this point, right? Okay, good, good. All right, let's talk about it. Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these social media work. And one of the things that Rock talked about is that when you're talking about the LinkedIn and you're talking, they're blocked. What you want to do is find somebody else and say, hey, could you refer me to this person over here? I want to get to know them. Could you do that? Yeah, and then you do it. So what are you going to do or scrape for or look for in each one of these areas? What are the buzzwords you're going to look for? Cash isn't typically going to show up in Facebook, all right, because that's kind of a leading indicator. Right? Investor, we buy houses. Those are the words that you're going to be looking for. Anything that an investor would use. We buy foreclosures.
Yeah, on my LinkedIn page, I had offers from these 4 or 5 hard money lenders. I don't do hard money, but I got that. They want me to run it. That works.
Yeah, it does work. All right, this social media stuff does work. All right, I want you to know that this Pinterest. All right, I have a hard time with this site because I get on that and I start looking at the photos, and an hour later I come up for breath and wonder where did that hour go. I really like it. All right, so we want to come down here. Also, Dustin is building a buyer's list. Dustin, what's that app that you've got? What's the phone number with Add Me?
I'll tell you right now.
Okay, so everybody wants to take this down.
I would have had it pulled up if I know you were going to ask me.
Well, I got to catch you.
All right, let's see. One sec. Yeah, you know how when he first started talking, he was talking about texting, how he texts out his leads?
Right.
Rock and I are going to be talking about this probably in the next couple months at the AIM group, which meets on Monday. But try this. How many of you guys ever get text messages from me about events we have and stuff? Okay, you're already on our text message list for the RIA group. But you can also, we just set this up, text us to the number I'm getting ready to give you.